I want to speak now about duality and what duality really is. Duality is the totality of God rejecting one side of itself and wanting the other side of itself, as if there are good experiences and negative or bad experiences, instead of seeing them all as perfect experiences, seeing them all as experiences that are part of the one infinite creator. If you look at something as not good, you are rejecting its own existence. Let's say a demon, for example. If you say that a demon is bad, you are labeling it. You are putting its experience in a box, instead of accepting that yes, there are demons that express themselves, and the ones that want to have experiences with demons have them. The ones that don't do not have them. And angels, as if some of us, we want to deal with angels only because angels are good. As if angels are better than demons. Angels are not better than demons. Angels are, demons are. Neither are better than the other, because they are all part of the same totality, the same life, the same balance, yin and yang. There's not one without the other. They are both expressions of God. When Lucifer came from the so-called heaven or paradise, it is said that he came down from there, if it was somewhere up. Even this might be an interpretation. Lucifer left heaven because God told him to do some things and he didn't want to. He didn't want to obey that particular God anymore. And because he didn't want to obey him anymore and do what he wanted, God told him to leave heaven or that place. Lucifer didn't want to let himself be manipulated by God, didn't want to obey God's commands, because Lucifer realized that he is God as well. And that particular God that he was listening to was lying to him, telling him that he created Lucifer, not that Lucifer was one part of totality, same as God, that so-called God. And as Lucifer awakened and realized that he is God as well, and he is not the son of God or God's creation, he started a war in heaven because of this manipulation, I suppose, because of this control that God was trying to control him and was controlling him up to a particular time. And he had enough and he started a war. Then he left heaven and he started his own kingdom. He started kingdom of hell. And hell is earth. Hell is earth. Hell was created initially for everyone to do whatever they want, whatever they please, without wrong, without bad, without good, without plus, without minus, without duality. But freedom. Freedom to do whatever one wants. And that was not accepted by the so-called God, because he was saying that everything has to be a particular way, that man has to listen to my commands, not to do this, not to do this, not to do this, and not to do that. That is God's will. As if we are ants and we all must obey the queen and the king. But that was the lie, because we are not ants, we are gods. But as we've forgotten who we are, some other gods that awaken to the reality that they are one and they are part of the one and only God that we all are in all our expressions, he started to take advantage of other beings that were not awakened, telling them that I created you and you must follow and obey my commands. And because these sleeping gods were not awakened, were not aware of who they are, they started to listen and obey, thinking that, and pray to the God and listen to this God and let themselves be guided by this God, as if that is their destiny, as if what they are hearing through their thoughts, even through their feelings, is who they are, without knowing that those feelings, energies, and thoughts are being sent by that particular God, telling them to do certain things, to obey his commands, to obey his plans, while he is free and doing whatever he wants. So all this has been a lie from the beginning, a split, a rupture, of a duality in the oneness. We are all God, but we've forgotten who we are. We are all free, but we've forgotten because we allowed the fears of not being enough that were projected onto us by a God, or certain gods, and that we believed in. We believed in fears and doubts because we haven't allowed ourselves to be free for so long, not just in this lifetime, but for millennia and eons. We haven't allowed ourselves to be free and do what life inside of us inspires us to do. And because of that, we have created an ego of repression, an identity of repression. And we have become it. We have identified ourselves with the ego. Hence, we have been entrapped in it for so long that we've forgotten the truth of who we are. And now, this lifetime, this period is about coming out of the ego, coming out of that suppression, coming out of listening to light, coming out of listening to darkness, coming out of listening to any God outside, but going back within ourselves, going back inside and listening to the truth of who we are, to this inspired life that tells us, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to express, this is what I want to create, this is what I want to experience. Only what I, God, I am, feels within. Not what I am told, not what I am being manipulated through my thoughts or even energies, but first finding a way of reaching my core, my depth. That's why enlightenment is a target for many, because enlightenment, what does enlightenment means? Enlightenment means freedom of any structure, freedom of any system of manipulation, of any system of control and influence. Once you are there, out of any system of manipulation, control, corruption, and influence, you are free to express your inner divinity, your inner perfection, your inner God self. And that's when life truly begins. That's when life truly is free and happy. Because you allow yourself and you realize that the only one that hasn't allowed you to be free was yourself, because you believed in what other gods incarnated here or in the spiritual realm have said to you through thought forms or energies, manipulations. control. So once you are there, in this place of enlightenment, of not letting anything manipulate you, finding the root, the core of all your fears, of all your doubts, and releasing them to find the truth of who you are, then at that point you can express your happiness, your freedom of being. Then you can do what you truly like. Then you can express your inner truth. Then you can do what you enjoy. Then you establish yourself in the true paradise, the paradise of the freedom that you are. So heaven and hell have been creations of dualities. Hell, a creation of feeling not enough, feeling not accepted by God, a particular God outside. But Lucifer was feeling not enough because he didn't accept himself as God. He didn't accept himself as God, I am as one with God. And he was feeling not enough, and that's why he had anger, that's why he had all those repressed negative emotions inside of him and created everything he created out of pain, because he was in pain of not having accepted himself fully, of not having had contact with the truth of who he is fully. But he was waiting for a particular God to accept him and love him and recall him back to heaven. And he didn't want to, because he realized that in heaven, in that particular heaven, there was no freedom of being. Everyone was just obeying the commands of God. They were just slaves to God, doing what God wanted in return for some rewards, which is what's happening on the earth on many levels. A lot of people are doing many things in return for some rewards, for some benefits from outside, instead of them just creating and expressing their truth. And as they express their truth, as you start expressing your truth, you start seeing life unfolding, and you are attracting everything that you want to you. It comes to you from the realization that you are God and everything around is God and everything around is you, as within as without, as above so below, above being here, below being here, within. So the truth is that we are here to be free of patterns, of systems of belief, Osho was saying that I do not believe in believing, because even believing is a construct, is an imprisonment, a particular channel of some kind. When you are free of believing and you just allow life within you to express whatever it expresses in it, whichever way it expresses, whichever way it wants, without suppressing it or postponing it, but acting upon it and allow it to break free and speak out, knowing that life has the right of being free and life within you wants to be free outside. They're like children wanting to be out. Are you suppressing your own children, which is life wanting to express, or are you suppressing them? Suppressing life within is like having an abortion. The child within you wants to come out into the world, and you are suppressing it, you are killing it, you are destroying it. And that creates suffering and sadness within you, because that life that you are suppressing is you. And of course, when you are suppressing yourself and life that you are creating sadness and pain within you. Without plans, without structures, create your inspired life. There's no recipe, there's no plan outside that you need to follow. The plan is within, and the plan is be free, express freely, create freely everything that you are inspired without fearing anything. That is the truth of I am. Be free. Do not doubt, do not fear, Where there is fear, there's a great benefit. It's like a curtain, like a waterfall, beyond which there's a treasure. Go past that waterfall and you will find that treasure. Go past that layer of fear and you will find that treasure. And of course, when I mean fear, I do not mean there's a poisonous snake there and you feel that if you're gonna go one step closer, you're gonna get bitten and you have the possibility of dying. Not that kind of fear. That is clearly saying, do not come closer. The kind of fear that is just saying, don't do that because this might happen. Don't express that because they will judge you. Don't create that or don't start this project because you might fail. Don't speak these words. They will not understand. You express, you speak, you create not for others. You create because life within you wants to express. You don't create to help others. You create to help yourself first. Life within you wants to come out. And once life within you comes out, you are helping yourself. And because you are helping yourself, you are able to help others that are in need of help, that look for help outside of themselves, which is most of the people on this planet, because they are not in contact with the truth of who they are. And we all depend on each other to make each other happy. But that's never going to end if we don't find the truth of who we are. And if we don't express our truth, because that is happiness, that is fulfillment, that is love, that is freedom. Expressing our own truth, expressing life within us without repressing it, without letting worries and doubts and fears stop us from expressing whatever we feel that we want to express. Those are our needs. Express, create, draw, paint, sing. Get involved into any kind of activities that you like and you enjoy. This is freedom. This is what I wanted to say. Enjoy yourselves. Be free. And get past duality. Get past God, Satan, heaven, hell, and realize that you are your own God. And we are all one God being expressed in many different bodies, many different forms. This is the truth. And I hope that one day you will find the truth and realize the truth if that's what you want. If truth is your intention in this lifetime and you follow it and you strive for it, you will find it. One way or another, you will find it. And when you do, work with it. Express it out. Regardless of how crazy it might sound. Remember that the people that have changed truly this world for the best have helped it transform in a beautiful way, in the benefit of life everywhere, have been considered crazy when they've come up with certain ideas or when they said or did certain things. Be crazy. Express your truth. Express your truth once you have found who you are. Not from an information point of view, but from a being point of view. I salute you and I wish you freedom of self-realization. Goodbye. Take care.